Let's delve deep into nostalgia. What does it really mean? Hi, welcome to the show. Today I'm exploring nostalgia and what that means to me as a retro gamer. I've spent the last week or so speaking to friends in the community about what nostalgia means for them. The results were pretty interesting. Some looked upon nostalgia as a game series or a specific game that had memories attached to it. Some people would look at particular systems or hardware types that they really have fond memories of. For some people, it was about who they played the games with. So it wasn't about a particular brand or series or system. It was just about the memories they had of playing games in general with friends and family. So I thought I'd explore the idea of nostalgia for myself and what it means to me personally. I went all the way back to the beginning, to when I first have memories of collecting video games, and I decided I'd pick 3 genres that mean a lot to me, and from each genre I would pick one game and have a chat about it and see what memories it stirs up for me, and then see if I can come to a conclusion about what nostalgia means for me. I am a huge extreme sports fan, and I have lots of these games in my collection. Most notably snowboarding games, if I had to pick one extreme sport. So I decided to go for 1080 snowboarding because this is one that most people would know and be familiar with, and it's also a great example of the genre. The effects on the snow are absolutely amazing, the racing is incredible, and there's lots to do in it. Might be a little bit easy and not the biggest challenge, but it's certainly an incredibly fun and playable computer game. Now, when I look back and I've been playing this game since it was released. I think I bought it on the day of release, if not a very short time afterwards. And it brings back good memories actually. I'm remembering I bought this and my friend bought Formula 1. I think they were both released on the same day. And I like this because it took Nintendo away from the sort of cutesy Mario Kirby style games that you were used to, and actually they made something that was a bit more like a simulation. It was a little bit easy. I remember being disappointed about how quickly I completed it, but it is really fun and I still play it to this day, and I absolutely just love snowboarding around and having fun and bashing over people like we can see there. It's not my favourite snowboarding game, but it's certainly a great example of one that has great memories. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking actually this is more about the memory I have with my friend who bought the Formula 1 game at the same time and having to swap the carts over when it was someone else's turn to play. Fighting games, and especially 2D fighting games, are one of my all-time favourite genres. I spend hours playing these and I actually think I'm pretty good. I love learning all the moves. I absolutely just love getting better and better and better and smashing computer players and human opponents alike out of the water. Thinking about this in terms of nostalgia, this reminds me of going down to London to the Trocadero, entering Street Fighter or King of Fighters competitions, whatever was on at the time, and just trying my hardest to try and win. I absolutely could just play fighting games for the rest of my life and be absolutely happy. Go on, Kim. The last genre, but certainly not the least, is platform games, and more specifically 2D platform games from the 8-bit and 16-bit era. So I've used my favourite console game of all time to showcase this, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I absolutely just love platform games for the simple reason that they're so easy to play but they're incredibly hard to master a lot of the time. It's one thing just to go through the levels and complete it and beat the bosses and all the rest of it, but to actually get really good at these games and be able to beat the levels in a decent time and find all the secrets and make it almost look like art as you're traversing the levels, that takes actual skill. Mario players will tell you trying to speed run some of the levels is incredibly difficult and takes years of practice. One thing about this game in particular, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, is this massive boss rush attack mode at the end, which is absolutely fantastic. This is entertainment central. If I didn't have this game in my life, I probably wouldn't really be a fan of retro games in general. This one always brings me back. If I'm feeling down, I'm having a bad day, and I just want cheering up a little bit, I'll play a bit of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I found that really fun, just exploring what nostalgia means for me personally. The fighting games bring out my competitive edge, make me want to win and succeed. Extreme sports games give me a real challenge and allow me to just look back at a good time with my friends when we try and win all the races and get the highest score. And the platform games can remind me of a time when I was really safe and when I might need a little bit of comfort and to look back on some great times. So I don't think nostalgia is one thing or the other, and I think it's really important to look at it in a way that feels good for you. I know some people do sometimes think about nostalgia as a negative, but I think if you use it in the right way and don't overthink it, it can have a real benefit to your life and give you some good memories to look back on. What do you think? What does nostalgia mean for you? Let me know in the comments. Maybe tell me about some games that you find particularly nostalgic and I'll try them out. Well, I've been Retro Faith. Thanks for watching. Keep it retro.